Hello everyone, I am Pranjali. I love to make pizza at home. Today, I would like you to take through my favorite pan pizza recipe. This pan pizza is always hit among the kids. It is absolutely effortless and easy to follow recipe. So, let's get started. I am going to bake two pizzas, one in my 10-inch cast iron pan and other in 8 by 8 Pyrex glass dish. I think the cast iron is best choice because it makes pizza crust more crunchy, it bakes the pizza faster, it is easy to take the pizza out of the pan after baking, and it's healthy. I am preparing the dough today evening and bake the pizzas tomorrow for lunch. The slow overnight room temperature fermentation will develop amazing flavors into the dough. So, for the dough, you will need a bread flour, olive oil, salt, sugar, and instant yeast. You can replace the instant yeast with the sourdough starter if you have one. For those who don't know what is sourdough starter, it is the homemade wild yeast and bacteria culture that I can use to leaven my bread, just like instant yeast. You can check more information about it and its health benefits on the internet. So, here are the measurements for the ingredients. I am going for a bread flour as it has higher gluten content, which will give a nice bite to the pizza and overall nice structure to the crust. I am going for a 74% of hydration here. That is 74% of amount of the flour that I am using. High hydration doughs are always great for pan pizzas, as we don't have to handle the dough as much. It is always a good idea to use scale for the baking, but I have mentioned cup and spoon measurements also. Adding oil to the dough will help in even cooking of the pizza. And at the last, you want to use only a generous pinch of instant yeast as we are going for a long overnight fermentation. Today, instead of instant yeast, I am using my sourdough starter. I have fed my starter in the morning and now it is ready to go. So I have pre-measured all my ingredients here. I have added my sourdough starter into the water. The water is at room temperature. We do not want warm water as we want fermentation to happen at slow rate. Now I am adding olive oil and mixing all the wet ingredients. If you are using instant yeast, you can add it at this point and you don't need to activate the instant yeast. Then I will add sugar, salt, and I will dissolve it into the water. And then I will add the flour. I will add it in two batches so that it becomes easy to incorporate into the water. You can just mix all the ingredients with your hand, but I am using the spoon here because we are not going to take any efforts in kneading the dough. We will only mix until all the flour is hydrated. To make the dough strong and develop gluten structure, I am going to use a stretch and a fold method, where for next 2 hours at the interval of 30 minutes, I am going to perform one round of stretch and fold, which I will show you in a bit. These 3 rounds of stretch and fold will make the dough strong enough to trap all the fermentation gases. You can do this mixing job while making your dinner so that you don't have to spend any additional time for it. At this point, I am not looking for a very smooth dough. Just make sure all the flour is well hydrated and there are no dry bits of it remaining. At the end of the mix, my dough looks like this. I will cover it and keep it aside for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I am doing first set of stretch and fold. For that, wet your hand, grab the portion of the dough from the side and fold over. Rotate your bowl and repeat this 4 times. It is just a job of 20 to 30 seconds and we are done. Cover it and keep it aside. Coming back to the second stretch and fold after 30 more minutes. Again, wet your hand, grab the portion of the dough and fold over. You can already see that the dough is becoming strong and smooth. After another 30 minutes, I will perform third and a last stretch and fold. I will rest the dough after that for 10 minutes and then divide it into 2 portions. After 10 minutes of resting, I am dividing the dough into 2 portions as I am going to make 2 pizzas. I am taking dough out on the counter and divide it with my dough scraper. You can just use your knife for this. After this, I will round each portion and put it in greased container. I will set it aside on a counter for overnight fermentation. Next morning, my dough balls looks like these. They have almost doubled in volume and I can see that there are a lot of bubbles on it. For me, they are just ready to bake now. But you can refrigerate these and use up to next 24 hours. But in that case, you have to bring the dough to the room temperature before bake. And now I am ready to transfer them into the pans. I will grease my baking dish first and then I will slowly release the sides of the dough and without degassing much, I will transfer it onto the dish. This part can get little bit tricky. So, if you are sure you are going to bake the pizza in the morning, you can directly put your dough balls on the pan for fermentation the night before so that you can skip this step. Now, I am gently spreading the dough onto my dish so that it covers all the base area. If you get any really big bubbles on the dough, then you can just break them up to get an even base. I will cover and keep them aside for a couple of hours until I am ready to bake. Now let's come to the toppings. Here I have my no-cook pizza sauce. I have crushed whole canned tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, dried oregano, salt and sugar in the blender and my sauce is ready. I have purposely kept it chunky as I like it this way. You can use spices as per your taste. You can use a store-bought pizza sauce too. Make sure you use plum tomatoes here. I am going to put a sauce on only one pizza, so this much is enough for me. I am using low moisture whole milk mozzarella and grated parmesan cheese. Do not buy pre-grated mozzarella as the anti-caking agent in it will not melt on your pizza properly. You can use part skim mozzarella too. And these are the vegetables of my choice for today's pizza. And here comes the fun part, topping the pizza. I have preheated my oven at 500 degree Fahrenheit, that is 260 degrees Celsius. At 500 degree Fahrenheit, this pizza will take around 15 to 20 minutes to bake. You can take it out of the oven once you see a nice golden color on the top. I am adding the cheese first and then I will add the vegetables. This way it will not burn the cheese. And here is my second pizza ready to go in the oven. To be on the safer side with the Pyrex glass dish, I am going to bake this pizza at 420 degree Fahrenheit, that is 215 degrees Celsius. And at that temperature, it will take around 30 minutes. I am putting the pizza on a wire rack for 5 minutes before I cut it. The bottom is crisp and pizza smells heavenly. Thank you for watching my recipe. Do let me know in the comments if you try this recipe. Also, if you have any queries about it, please write me in the comment. Goodbye and stay safe.